Hello, this is Mr. Wright. This is the Properties video. Please open your MSG to page 82 and 83. First, we have the commutative property. First, look, it's just simply changing the order and the answer is the same. It's only for multiplication and addition. So, for example, it's like the green M&M and the blue M&M are commuting. They're just switching places. They're literally commuting to the other side of each other. So they're just switching places. So again, notice how the green M&M and blue M&M switch places on the other side of the equal sign. So the numbers or the variables in the given equation or expression just switch places. Okay? So again, it's just changing the order, and the answer still remains the same. And again, it's only for multiplication and addition. The commutative property of addition. Numbers may be added together in any order, and the sum will always be the same. For example, we have 6 plus 5, which would be 11. Okay. Then, if the numbers switch places or commute to different sides, 5 plus 6 would also be 11. And 11 is equivalent to 11. Okay? Well, it's the same if we have a variable. 2 plus x is equivalent to x plus 2. Again, they just switch places, but they will still be equivalent expressions. The commutative property of multiplication. Numbers may be multiplied in any order, and the product will always be the same. So for example, just like with the addition, again the numbers will commute to different places. They will just switch places. They're commuting. They're traveling. Okay, so 7 times 3 is 21. And that is equivalent to 3 times 7, which is also 21. And even with variables, a times b is equivalent to b times a. So whatever values I put in for a will be, and whatever values I put into b, no matter, even though they're switching places, they will still be equivalent expressions. Okay, the associative property. So let's change this grouping. Okay, so let's see. If I move, okay, I'm going to move one red triangle on the right side of the equal sign, move one red rectangle on the right side of the equal sign, and one blue rectangle or square on the right side of the equal sign. If you notice, even though if I change the grouping, on either side of the equal sign, I have one blue square, one red square, and one red triangle. And no matter how I change the order, I'm still going to have the same amount of each type on either side of the equal sign. So it doesn't matter in what order I have them, I will still have the same values, and they will still be equivalent no matter what the position is. So when I add or multiply these shapes together, I will still get the same on both sides of the equal sign to produce equivalent expressions. Okay. So no matter however I change these shapes, no matter which way they change, I will still get the same value. Okay. All I'm doing is I'm changing the grouping. And again, this is only for addition and subtraction. So associative property of addition. No matter how the numbers are grouped, just like those shapes, no matter how the shapes are grouped, their sum will always be the same. So no matter how those shapes are grouped, whether it was this blue square, red triangle, the sum would be the same if I was adding them. So in the case of these numbers, of course I would start with the parentheses first in order of operations, and I would do 3 plus 7, which is 10, plus 5, which is 15. Okay? which is 15. Okay? And then on the other side of the equal sign, on the right side, I would do 7 plus 5, which is 12. And then add 3, which is also a 15. So they are equivalent expressions. And that is the use of the associative property of addition. And same when I have all variables. A plus B plus C is equivalent to A plus B plus C. Okay. The associative property of multiplication. Again, no matter how the numbers are grouped, their product will always be the same. So again, with the parentheses, I have 2 times 4, which is 8. And 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, and that's equivalent to 4 times 5, because I start with parentheses first, in order of operations, is 20. And 20 times 2 is 40. So that is the associative property of multiplication. And same with letters. If I have A times B times C, or A times B times C, I will still, no matter how I change the grouping, their product will always be the same. Okay? And that, again, only works for adding and multiplication, for addition and multiplication. The identity property of addition, or the additive identity. Any number added to 0 is that number. So 6 plus 0 is 6. A plus 0 is A. The identity property of multiplication, the multiplicative identity. Any number multiplied by 1 is that number. It is itself. For example, 7 times 1 is 7. A times 1 is A. Zero property of multiplication. When you multiply a number by 0, the answer is always 0. For example, 4 times 0 is equal to 0. C times 0 is equal to 0. Are the expressions equivalent? If so, why? Okay. Well, let's look at number 1. 5 plus A is equivalent to A plus 5. Well, let's see. It looks like that 5 and that A are switching places. Therefore, it is equivalent because it's also addition. They're switching places and it's addition. And if they're just switching places, that's just like that blue and that green M&M. So that is using the commutative property of addition. Of addition. Okay. So yes, because of the commutative property of addition. Now let's look at number 2. We have A plus A plus A plus A equals 4A. Okay. Well, is A plus A plus A plus A equivalent to 4A? Well, yes, because when we simplify that expression, we're just simply adding all those 1s that are in front of the A, and we get 4A because they are all like terms. So in this case, they are equivalent because of combining like terms. So we put combining like terms. Okay. And number 3, we have 3 times A times C is equivalent to 3A times C. Okay, well, looks like the grouping is changing, but the values are going to be the same. The product is going to be the same. So it is yes because of the associative property of multiplication. So the associative property of multiplication. Okay. And finally, number 4, we have a plus 0 is equal to a, or is equivalent to a. And of course, that is equivalent because of the identity property of addition. Remember, when we add 0 to any number, the answer is that number. So the identity property of addition. Okay, so for homework, please answer the 5 questions below. Are the expressions equivalent? If so, why? Okay. Please have that out on your desk for the next day of class, and thank you for watching the properties video.